أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahmad Lem once again, just on a bit of, stroll, Allah, some exercise, some evening exercise. Lamin ne Martin den nke baba. Barengal be kondo, be mol be kondo no. Mo kendol be. Mal be nimbara wherever you are. Just a quick, I should say, expression of my own views. Half brother Solu, ha ni watin jebe during. Malam jumale pobaro bonjed, but jebe during demanding. Things are a little bit tough for half brothers. But there is one thing that is very clear. And I think it's important that people are aware of these things. In political parties or in politics, there are always struggles. There are always competitions. There are always, and there always will be, competitions, struggles in political parties. Buddy, there are two major competitions, me along ko akumara moli along, in politics. One, if you have a multi-party democracy, you will have political parties fighting and competing for control of the state. Come UDP, NPP, APRC, GDC, Nyol Benyamin. You'll have political parties that will do those kinds of stuff. They will always fight, they will struggle against each other, they'll compete to, take control of the state. Politician will bo kelale. Political parties koke. That is, womu kele kilineri politiko kono. Kele fulanjang, wolom internal struggle within political parties. Political, Burundala jambe, metama wala deaji, jambe diarinde. See, these places are very nice. Mbe babalola, ndongol ko mbembolo kandala. Let me do some pause from politics follow. And I'm having some beautiful exercise. So let me share some cool, environment with you. That's what I'm doing. It's evening. It's 8:30. But for those of you that know, Dola tuba abu du jang. Tilobuka boy juna. Gambia 8:30 okatra tilo boy da. Dola tilo man boy followed. So ndebeta tama lambita kan ne follow. Alhamdulillah, like I am saying, in politics you will have these type of struggles. Number one struggle is political parties struggling against each other to control power and resources. Number two is members of the same political party. That is an internal struggle. Struggling and competing against each other for the same thing, control of power and resources. So, sadauda ya sotole sadauda jamano asotole ajama bafon mol sonkata mol kuyada sirifu di banyol tada mol sonkata mol tada Kujamal Keda, Hassan Musa Kamara Nyolu, they were all members of the PPP. So history would tell you they tried, but it didn't work. You know, whatever happened at the end of the day, God knows. You know, UDP, NATA, you know, of course, Big Brother Barrow is not the first person to leave UDP. Ali Aloneko, you know, Wajuara was UDP, very powerful. But he left and formed NAD. And, you know, we had President Barrow, and there are still issues happening. You know, we left. So, you'll always have competition for resources. You'll always have competition for power within political parties and outside of political parties. That is, internal fights and, of course, fights between or amongst political parties. But one thing is very important, is in a democracy, there has to be healthy fight, but in that fight, sometimes you go against the rules. You know, ngalo ne ko ni fulole ale sango jale maji dolla sango li buka sombor la mola ma jata sonna bor sambale be jang sorry. There are a lot of big rabbits here, big ones. But you don't. There are deers too. Minangol bijang. Somda ni bita. Ini minangol ebe minamba. You know. But ibukamat, jang. You don't hunt them. There's a season for hunting. Aman si kuring kangamara in July. If you don't have a license, you cannot kill animals here. Na kebal gavu ini keremol kanyoji bel ale kele siloka, you know, burolu ini burol ka kelel hani samol fam buka somborlela, they're here, you know. So okay, let's get back to this stuff. I mean, you know, but one thing is very important. Political kono, you know, I'm not being, you know, I'm just being foolish. I'm being, you know, very informal. I've listened to, you know, the interview by Chairman Yanks Dabon Karamo, you know, West Coast na opponent that won. Adunfana, you know, the amol siata baringa baba moy. Barimin kumayata nyimbe kono. After I have made this assertion, kaitandiko, political parties are bound to have internal issues. The ability to very wisely and very cautiously maneuver through these turbulent times is what gives political parties, you know, the ability to stay above disintegration, to stay above failures. Bari Sadauda Jamano Kabira Kabe Fonyola in 1992. There were a lot of people talking, but Sadauda really meant to leave Alaftalekata in 92 in LRR. But according to those that knew, Mini Londo Soto, Sadauda Koto Moba Fula Lebenunje, Munebe Nyo Sabakam Palasola. Jamabai will little favor you more full. There were, of course, other very smart, very vibrant politicians. Honorable Buba Jalonyol, MC Chamnyolu, Matthew Baldelom, for Matthew Yabalandol, we are a bit young. And then you have these big wigs. Bakari Bunja Dabo, Demba Tulumbali, and the former Vice President Sekou Sabali. These were the two giants within the party at the time. They were both members of parliament. They both won their seats in their respective constituencies. Bakari Bunja Dabo and Sekou Sabali. At the time, Bakari Bunja, I heard, was the vice president. But then, there were people, Mini Alonko, Bakari was unfazed. He was not disturbed. That is democracy. He can go. And then, you know, Bakari was removed from vice presidency for whatever reason. Again, because I'm not an authority in that history. I was very young. And so, but what happened? Mojama ba fole ko. Wo fatam fanso because molie fatam fanso soto party okono. Bakar la faction oning Sehu Saba la faction were two powerful factions. President Sadauda Jawara, atenara Bibi Dabo Bondi Palaso, the vice president ya, aye, Seku Sabali Sammanang ayake vice president. Sadauda ya la tabai. Ako saying atete fonyola kotek. Amanso e fonyola. But ayatara, division oketa. Aman division o handle in a way and then handle la nyame. So people got angry, and the party, we knew what happened to PPP. Mol Kamfata, Partio Dol Kamfata, Modol Fangoko, Bibi Dabo, some accused him of being, a supporter of the coup. And, what ended up happening was, Madama Jait and Alaba. So this is a big bridge. This is water. Sombe Bale Balate. Ndola City, it has water. So you see, this is a small kind of tributary. So Babalo Lema Moljebe Ebe boat Borondika. So I do some politics, but I'm also doing some beautiful work around. So tilo man boy follow man tilo hena najala. Abe boy kambara man boy follow. This is the stuff, and so that's a bridge, a flyover. I mean, Siva Soro, Karaba Avenue Lomba, Vanalia Soro Jane, flyovers. Yeah, so, Lamina Martin B and Kumol Libi. So that happened. UDP, we of course know ko Talib lafta Manzala, Yankuba lafta Manzala. And they will compete. That's very healthy. That is very okay. Ndanga miranu minyanda kelanum. What would have saved UDP? Oma UDP safe. Nganyim fole bari wato do yaje mandingola kumole ko wato do tole na kumofo. Kanala kumobe soson. What I thought could have happened to save UDP, ndanga miranu, would have been Kabirin Dabo defeated in 2021 when he got defeated by the mighty NPP. Kabirin UDP boote Honorable Dabo Manganye. What I thought should have happened is Honorable Dabo Nyanta televised statement o kelale. Koma nyimin kedeng. He could have done that in 2021. I will tell you for what reasons. Follow. Near Dabo Bute nun Kabirin Baro Abute apparate. Knowing the kind of loyalty Dabo has. Ngao fola dumba fola koteke. Mande nde Kabiri Wulu ranga politiko karang Gambia. Mamoje minula more loyal tie ko Dabo. I've said this not once, and I'll say it again. I have not seen a politician yet in Gambia's history that have a loyalty to him as Dabo has. Nenamoj. More loyalty mean Molia Sotai. Politician de Gambia follow. Adunde Maji follow. Minia Sotai. So, Kabiria know in 2021, if I were him, to save UDP and to give NPP the biggest problem, what I thought could have happened was Hussein Dabo should have made a televised statement. Accept the fact well, the election was stolen. He had always said it was stolen and all of that. That's okay. That's his. I don't believe in that. I was at the center of our politics and our operations. Bande safoko ndol mankarte fayo mankarte sunya. Ndelato la ning ala ning kilate man tol mankarte sunya. Because karte be sunya no la nyadi. Mo be katra karte faydula mo be ka kontiro. So wol dosa just words. But he could have made a televised statement. Honorable Dabo, I attend the Gambia no UDP Nkola. Aliye Cartel finally over 200,000 votes. Adum aliyala kano itandinte Usain Dabolale. Alien kanu alanin killer. You loved me. But it has come to a time when I, like empires, like political parties, like kingdoms, everyone has time. They all rise and fall. I have risen. I did my part for this party. You loved me. You've been loyal to me throughout and through thick and thin. But what I believe now is laftalali makwe. Ndebe dameng nasio anina jata kende ya madina purunga kontine kanyim partiyo nyaton kaya atol UDP nkolu atol Gambia nkolu baringa min danal bulwona min diko na partiyo sign dindin jamale ben na partiyo kono min yalon ko ye dokuo no adi se seinde la palasoto ye tambindeti. What I believe Dabo should have done, that he had missed. And again, if we tell him, it's not like we hate him, no. We want a healthy and competitive democracy in our country. And that would always mean successful, succession. You understand? So I believe Dabo should address, I made that address, I mold Danako. Because I have so many youngsters coming up, so many qualified dinol mi alonkonge karandile, your loyalty to the party, ikarantale, they have been tested as leaders, and I believe they are capable of succeeding me. And they can handle the affairs of this country. Now, okay. Dabo should have continued kaitandila ko bari wo kamala because we have so many people ntafta minna ninkombe mfonyola nganda bondi ka successor tombong. If I want to leave the election or the choosing of a successor into your hands, then America, what is going to be an issue as a party of Tinyanol. So laughter ngaldani as Gambians, as UDP people, aliye makoi aliye nyimbunya dinna nte fongo yenna successor tombong bari ntakelanda made. I will do it in consultation with the elders and relevant authorities of the party. What political tension on emotional be higher in Tembo Ming, Dabo could have taken an advantage, and he would have gotten Gambians, especially UDP people. Abe sorola I need andila ndanga nyina danal bulu ndeke baatale sign but dindin jamal le bembulu mini alonko wolle le nyaton kaya non teti bi nge karandile I karandambulu ye ku karang adi tolle pare dandeti sign pour kanyim banko mara kadi UDP sanga tourner ko te gangamuro. You understand? So until after Dabo could have said that left a sign alenyim palaso kadinno tombondela mimbende ketala because mo jamala bembul nin kombenda bondila tombondiroto ngake electionola aseke parti o janjam because minu bembulu sembe ma balle bembulu mini alon ko dinningol dem. So I believe you should all give me that opportunity as your leader to pick a successor. But I will do this in consultation with the elders of the party and relevant authorities. Nindabo nyimfonum diamo be banna fereng UDP ko bese song UDP ko bese sembo diala I bese bunya diala Dabo se successor tombong ani UDP la alfalu hani atakumala hani atakumala no. But I think that opportunity was missed, and now Turo na meda sakado kono abe falin nalde wallahi tinya Turo na meda sakado kono abe falin na jele na man falin ja abe tinya. These are the two things. Dinni wala nyaton kolle be parti o kono Dabo had stayed too long as a leader of the party. And the leaders, there are young leaders now, they are pushing each other. Yes. They are not, it is time for them to come up now. Inyanta fali nalesai. So it's time for them to come up there. Nyin talib nyol ni Yankuba nyol ni nying, Landin Sane nyol ni Lamin Sane nyol ni, name them. They are ripe now for leadership. They are. So nimba be sira akada singo bandila banko kan. Dinno yala ni yiri kuntu bala ni banko kan. Iko nyamol te falina. You know what they do, seedlings? Ika nyamo ika doji le wuli. They dodge it. Or some will hit it and come through it, right? Hanya kong kiriko ke bunkono. Mankana soka akmo fundile. So I think Honorable Dabo, again, so much love and respect for you, for your dedication. Bari, time has come, and this is nature. This is involuntary. Jimfamanke adamadin sautide. Ala famala kero lo nyindi. Adamadin ka si kuma akatambi kula. That is what happens in humanity. So, time has come for Talib to try. He has all the qualities and qualifications Mobile Flaminda as a leader. Time has come for Yankuba to try. He has all the qualities. He has all the qualifications. Time has come for Landing Sane of LRR to try. Time has come for Lamin Sane OIC to try. Anila keba dol bi jemini alon ko olbotana international appointment na sa ol fanambe opportunity unika. So that opportunity is missed. These young people, it's not about you. They want to lead. Elafna man say Allah. Adi lafte ketalale. Adi ka signal le ko wato sidal. But the biggest opportunity for NPP is Yalam President Barrow. Not big brother. Nenanga diamofo. Mbesela kan. Yaje molka monyimal ka kamfa duake. Karaya kuba. Ikanata yaya jamela na kudo. Asistamba ning wenyolo ne. Yaya barino asistambati. Aya ma koy bak. Para asistamba anyin sulalom bak. Karaya kuba. Tata je duanyi no la yala ko duaje bak. Duaja bita. Karaya kuba tata mursani amuruntanang. Baro meta domandin atra ya dunta man sala domandin. November 11 nyol nata kudeta danta nata mo danta mfata ani yani mole kuya kumase e kokke batata ya kay ko nying ntanga meranga duwa ke sa boje ya jamme mo kallan kele when story foka because akoya sign ay mo fala kumasa daka mol tora back ay ndol ani minu be ake sign akamunta coming ay mol tora back bari alala woliyo alala mo nyima akay ko ntolunga duwal minke yaya jamme o duwal jabital mansaya pura sabati ya sije ntolunga duwal min kay akay ko wolde boyno le bukol on do not ku killing wala ba bondila adu wota tula wala ba bondila wolem mansa kufla molke miss hako anin junubo yale mankili mola hako anin junubo niyo bara sin mansa adama dim ka junubo nayo bara o katarani mansa talale tema but adama dim hako o katarani anyon dafe wolle tema so woka ko yaya jamme molla hako wala batinyala So nana kanyim fo foni President Barrow ku kede barni on ta duwalu. Wal jabital. Wal jabital. So why am I saying this? Ntolbe mira kan na nyulu be jumale samba kan no, especially for politicians like me. I mean, we are not just we don't just look from the surface. Nse diamu nga diamu bare mol mimbe President Adam Barrow challenge la from the United Democratic Party and batande nga wollon. We know people that can challenge Barrow and give him problems and give all of us problems in 2026. We know those people. But kabirin mama oketa, His Excellency, the former Vice President Mfama, Mbe Fama, Mbe Tu, Alamala aso Siman in Jada Kenda. Kabira televised address ke, Akatele Belola 2026, Ndefana Ahmad Ndeba, Nka ala dani mansanyima, Ale one bulda daba, kana kukarat, Alamala Simaya, Ajato Kendea. Our ability dino ala contest for 2026. President Barrow's best chance in the world, I mean his biggest chance of winning in the Gambia is running against Dabo. Well, Ananko, the lesson we need to learn. Yankuba nimfenkela sonko, wala UDP la teo. Don't think that is good for us. There are other things we can analyze those things later. But wolman kumaya, but you dipira tebe hakilo klad. Kanan dolkana odua. That analysis is there for another day. So Honorable Dabo Kabe Lolale, Alama Simala Jato Kenda Ailo, Ndelaftawan. Alama Ailo, Kila Nima Hormon. Ndol fanan na parti o NPP nga katanga ke kilinti kome nga fanyamen adama dim kunda adama diya abemu competition internal fights are normal in a political party. Nyaton kol se hakilo tu ye tilim mol tema ye hakilo tu mol tema wokumatal barika wo fitino. People will fight for power. People will fight each other for control. People will fight each other for resources. That is human nature. These two struggles will be in any political party. The way you handle it matters. The way you handle these internal issues matter. And I've said this, and read it anywhere in the world. There are either different political parties fighting to control the government of a particular country, or there are different people of, let's say, charisma, of influence within a political party that are competing for power within a party. But there will always be a fight. There will always be a fight. Adamadin Kunda. There will always be a fight. Abe NPP le, hana amawara because President Barrow le bijata fenkela. But in Dolfananka do ni luolu President Barrow ko ntede honestly speaking nkatale. That day you will know too. Hanintola National Assembly fenko wala kanzuloya wala even in NPP. National Assembly jaleta independent against the will of the party. Chairmanship, I went against my party to independent. Why is that? Politicians and political parties will always have these competitions. Councilor level, UDP, Mama Kande, NPP, people quarrel. Dolsonda, Dolmanson, Katefelk at primary level. Some were not satisfied. They left. They went to, independent National Assembly. Their members, Mini Alonko, they were not happy with what the party did. And all those things naturally are as a result of, competition for resources and power or influence, whatever you call it. That is human nature. And and this is at local level, National Assembly level, councilor level, chairman level. Any day there is a feeling ko barote tarraje, barobe fonyokande. You will not have one person that is interested in becoming NPP chair or NPP leader to succeed Barrow. Whether that will find us in government or not, and I hope it finds us in government. So, the preparation has to be done. But of course, you will also see those signs. And again, amanke nendisa, amanke kujauti. Ibe mwal jalal mini alongo, for example, Ahmad Gitteh, mo jamal karandela kumajao for President Barrow. Some of them are not saying this because ntemu mo jawaldi, but they probably are seeing a future. Maybe Gitteh, na nakita Barola, na tatanyim party okono, na kundaje, na esembo soto, nte laftala ngake Barola keta alati. Barning Gitteh bidang, there is a possible competition. Chairmanship wol ketale, mol ko, mol ye soto mini ovo, iko Gitteh, ning NPP ata, naketa chairman of the West Coast region. 2026, he will challenge Barrow. Billahi wallahi tallahi mol ye ofole. They were not about Barrow. But that was not true. It was not about Barrow. They have a feeling ko. Nintekera chairman of probably Barrow be fanyola because ngawle mole o feeling soroko. President Barrow will leave. This is his final term. So maybe when Gitteh becomes chairman, 2026, ordinarily he wouldn't compete. But if he becomes chairman, 2026, my chances, I mean, you know, might be slim because Gitteh controlling West Coast probably. So you have, what I'm trying to put across is, Nyimbedula Beleto. Adamadeu by nature is driven by interest first. Ha! Nindara NPP, ibem fala jele bang, mbebalu osorola bang, momo ka fa nkata NPP o purise silol dada, purise silol hani o be ye silol dada, purise loptano lo, purise agriculture fenke, wo be ni o be keta muneka ke, I will benefit because I will drive on nice roads. I'll go to good hospitals. My children will be safe. There'll be electricity that I'll enjoy. Every human being, number one, is self-interest. So, Walter Baila, NPP are sorole, Barole BJ is ruling. But in a local level, Nanyo Saba Pala Solale, Nanyo Saba Authority la, Nanyo Saba Todiala, Benyo Saba Kambi, Benyo Saba la Sininding, Hani Keba Amadi, Dolbela Fria Bay, Wolom, Pur Keba mean Soto, To mean Soto, and in Todia, Pur also Soto, Pur Keba Palaso mean the chairmanship, youth president, Pur it also Abia Multi, political be multi. But NPP, we have a big chance. Alinga katanu nga nyomwe 2026 nga dua kuka na baba so son and father round 2 son and father round 2 but mfama londe your excellency kana bo in the back 2026 na fengere ifamala bari tala otombal kondo na on a more serious note NPP nkolu there is need for us to unite. More dolbe kamfaring. Of course, more jamale be kamfaring. But in fama ne kumafonye. This was a long time ago. At a caring, it's 10 years since he passed away. Almane manin kafar kelai. Sungaro kono. Kitimo Asamu. Nin one of my brothers led Dundanyola. But in the bolota na. Ndela bolot. Yalan den kambolo kanda back. Ndela bolot. I was the one that was right. Nina broda dole dundanyola. Koto keba balamat nkoto. So my dad knew, you know, when people know you are right but you are young, you know, Mandinkas have a way of dealing with stuff. So kwenye teta tasaloke tato. You know, Ndara Siabala, we were very close. He has many children, but I was particularly very close to him. So, I kurana ayo do fanya. Hani bi hakilo bo kurana ayo ka. Barimbe siring, nyabe telindin juda juola. mol mi ye yalon kiti na kolomo bala je dura jobi je o dura jo bala santan jole benunje adura jo abulo tilingala wado sumte tile ule ngana so de ngabasa ba fene luot. Those that knew our family, you will know what I'm talking about. This was like 20, 25 or perhaps so years ago. 20 years or so, perhaps. Agonyam ko du roja. Mango. Huh? Mobe buka duto adingo domo season killing. Not everybody that enjoys mango enjoys its fruit in one season. Many people enjoy fruits of mangoes at different seasons. Duto semo ete adomo nyinang jare ete tije. Jari ko do adomo ite tije. Jari ko ba do adomo 20 years, 40 years later do adomo atrete fata fam. Walete be dunia adla dot. So duto mobe buka dingo domo wati kile. Akonya bari min kumata obeti. The most important thing nilafta duto e mobe wasa. Akata duta juo tanakana soto. This is profound. What ombe do yarine mbe kamfaring. Bari this thing keeps hitting my head. It keeps hitting my head. Ning kamfada kuol kamang kamfada nga kuol jibe minu ketanan all of that. Ninga ikamera ko malay ko kala kumo samana ay lipala. And that makes a lot of sense. There are a lot of you in NPP. Minalong kalia katabak. But alamal harje fenna partiyo. A lot of you. Alkana worimbe forest ol konoja. A lot of you. But in fama min fono. Duto. Ni asi mata. Ajato kendata. Nina dinte ema domo. Isabari. Kontine jambando ke duto kang. Kontine ye duto jibong. Kana somo ye duto juo kundu. Buko na juo kundu da. Alse fo dibengola. Adunjari. Konkoto basina ila mo kende konkoto. Konko samuta. Ila mo kende ba. Bara sinate duto domala. Bari duto fat. Alma tukoto. Imunya. Ninyi na ya duto bedo me koma. Jari ni duto dinda seke folole be juru dimba domala. Wala jari ko. Nita ma domo. Iteri kende kanunte kende. Imo kende iteri ma. Obe duto emuna fanala. Mfama nyina fonya. Ntolla duta jomu NPP leti. Mo jamal ka kumofo. Gitteh, you are inconsistent. Imam fenke. Ikamuru NPP. Baro minkela. Mole minkela. Mole diamula. Yalon jalba ko adeko. Ngata nyola o ngata nyola. Min sitano. Ngata nyola. Barote mo be kela ministati. Eko. Molu man kanyang. Mo be ya molu man kanyang. As a canon indicate the president, Baro minister didn't take a minister. Among man qualify. A lot of those people, ya jamen and me gibe fang. In fact, ya jamme will do by la palasolto. For example, Dauda Jallo. Dauda was a judge, he was a magistrate. Ya bay. Kodi. Baro ya minister. To ya jamme. Dauda Jallo is not worth being a magistrate. To Adama Baro. Dauda Jallo is the most important person for justice out of 100,000 lawyers in the Gambia. Ibrahim Silla was just a journalist. Yahya Jammeh sent people to kill him. For Yahya Jammeh, Ibrahim was only worth to be fed upon by maggots. Ibrahim Silla, Yahya Jammeh, tungol damma Ibrahim Jaretawal. Ibrahim Silla. Barbaroya. Construction ministry, Barola biggest area of priority. Every government has a priority. Barola biggest area of priority as a president. Wolon silol. Ibrahim Silla lata wala mo bait ayakije. So I understand. So another president will come from NPP. Barola minister to Tarol kon. Because wobe molle jala minalan ko wolle la kuo diata woni wolle se do kuo keno. Sometimes yes, it looks like mimbe mi mbenga mano min tabi ngamano tabi mpareda mbenga lo nyini ndata minangol fa anin samolu kabiringe tabi nga sunkalaw nin chumaro nin bolo nin palatol dinna kebala baro ngaya tala barantol dol min batata ma dinna afan e min folom alala man harjew ka bulokol nga belief wala dron foye tonye foye me tonye nga ala talla muta nga do koke na duta juo nga trim ku abulu jarolu nge kundu ku abala sulol mi lafta fundila nga banku fingo boy kan nga na duto jibo wolon NPP al nga jibong President Barrow alhamdulillah ite mimbe kamfara kama alhamdulillah President Barrow bi mansea alansaro abe olto abe alansaro olto bi ay sanji tannek President Barrow te sanji tan ko te kala mansea ala sanji ate fana fa hotela filawla so na asiata bake 2026 kola sanjilu na doyata alman kisalo man defa man la fi wala sanji kilim 2026 aband bar ni o keda o be mbel toralo I mean e ko la ran la jano nkano duwa ko la ran la jano nkano duwa so nte o duwa la so alangan sabare NPP nimbe fensoro lambe min folan na moliye. Take an example from me. Ninkoka, I'm happy with what happened to me. After all that we went through, I'll be like, Ndebuka Wuliaf. But alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. Nkamfada wade wat. Mfama ala nyinkumo ke fadinan. Duto. Mango bi. Bulko fati. Adun denyinala. Adun kufulanja wala nyendi. Ita mimbe kamfari ise kamfanya onya. Ise mira kukilin. Ikamfada NPP kamanya onya. Ikamfada partio kamanya onya. Ise mira. Iteribe wo parti ekonomi alonko bi wobe muna fansoto kanje. Ndeka fo moler. Hani make baroy. Mbake la fabu sane. Hani make baroy. Mbake la Sundu Ture. Hani make baroy. Mbake la Musa Drame. Dindela kelo. Musa Drame ke muna fanno da kala dimba balun. Alhamdulillah. Nindela kelo. Sundu Ture aka $1,000 domo dama soto. 1,000 pounds soto no. Nga kelo minge. Fabu sane ka 100 real soto no. Bari ndela kelo o kafo. Alala bunya. Ndela kelo fana contribute la wea tinna. Fabu sane biya akata maka na lafta akata. Bumo mi horomata bumo beti dunia. Akata salo la je. Ndede kelo kela puruka fabulo opportunity tinya. Kadu nimbaro la manse atinya da bi. Mimbina fobe fabu sambalo to bam fata sambala ndemol. Yalla mol camera jita mu toilet. Manke toilet. Boyo kola koda ali amera mbe touring temantara touring. Son kamera wala. Ni mo jamal lele kelo kembe in the trenches. Mo kende jamal lamin cham nyolu. You know, Ibrahim Silla. Nakeba kende. Ibrahim nakoto ke kende. Abe palasoto akala dimba albalundi no alhamdulillah akatama akata dunia dulabet maybe at a Gambia for sign. So the opportunities they have. Mfanala Adama Diato. I don't think nyanda nga kelo ke purunga opportunity tinyawali. Haninte mamunafam for now. So that is left a more be danila walla. Algan sabari nga keloke. Algan sabari nga keloke. Partiyo eke kilinti. President Barrow has tried a lot for the party. Ay kujama balle ke partiyo. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Yalon jide buka wuliaf. Mimbendo. Ate diale. Walambe minfola ate diale. Bari mbuka wuliafo de. Hani. Mol mi yello yenni wolon. So nimbe fenso lambe min folanna moli nga nyene sotalie ngal dani ala nin kilay al nga parti o muta momo e kam fara nyawnya e kanun de jibe kana Baro jibe. Are you angry with Baro? Don't look at Baro. Do you have a minister mi alon ko ila frenolom ila mo kendolom alnene kutama partiyo ele? Do you have that? Nimo sodo. Do you have a member of the National Assembly mi alon ko alnene kutawoke wala kudimindingo partiyo e pour partiyo lo? Have you ever done that? Ni one thing, ambassador kono wala deputy ambassador wala anybody that is benefiting as a result of NPP being in government. Abigela baitene ni mo mi kuke kudimindingo. Adite lafla wala palaso namal lafa akanaji. Yes, every single member of the party has that. Every one of us has someone that they love and appreciated and worked with during the worst of days for the party. And I have hundreds of them. Ibrahim Silla is key among them. Nala nyin diamol be nga fala nga nyokumande hani bi nga nyokumande nga duanyo e salolu fenkolu adu wallahi Ibrahim la family ala nomo nyo nyimma na dingol wol muntala special people olet ndela fla Ibrahim e sofa wolle be sofa la because na min so da ka sambolto alaj fabu sane abe Saudi Arabia wati na tata salola juma as a special dua kenya as a kenim fabu tije mote o kelante jumala bo kelante ambassador Jamal tata Saudi for secretary Jamal tata Saudi long for Sheikh Umar Faye, alhamdulillah. Sheikh Umar Faye, when he was a consul general, he is a special man in my heart. And I do a Jamal Kenya. But Fabu Nyongtije, Alaji Jawara, Abe Saudi Arabia, Ufanankata Saudi Salola, I can do for Maka, Manta Maka Hanisai, he can do for Je. So we will hold on to the party. Let's take it easy. By the grace of Allah, President Barrow will win 2026. After he wins towards 2031, by 2030, President Barrow will, by then we'll have our Congress, we'll pick a leader, Barrow will hand over to that leader. How will he do that? Well, His Excellency the President, he'll make a televised statement, NPP will go to Congress, we'll pick a Secretary General. Of course, there'll be a lot of party internal struggles, that is normal, but we'll handle it properly. After we pick our Secretary General to replace Barrow, hopefully President Barrow will appoint that guy as Vice President, and when he appoints him as Vice President, President Barrow will resign and go back to Mankamankunda. Maybe we go with our new president, the law will pick that guy, make him a president, and you know, Allah baraka yamwe fitiro sidal sign ngada fitir salolla al nimbara assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.